Good evening, wherever you are, whatever this day has held. You've arrived at a quiet place. There is nowhere you need to be for the next little while. No messages waiting for your attention. No decisions demanding an answer. No expectations to carry. Tonight, your only task is to rest. So allow your breathing to slow, not by force, only by permission. Take one gentle breath in, and let it leave just as gently. Again, a slow breath in and an easy breath out. Feel the weight of your body settling beneath you. If your shoulders are holding today's tension, let them soften. If your jaw is still carrying conversations that ended hours ago, allow it to relax. If your mind continues replaying moments that cannot be changed, simply notice them and let them drift away like clouds crossing a quiet night sky. You do not have to solve today tonight. You only have to be here. For thousands of years, human beings have searched for this very moment. A moment when the noise becomes quiet, when the world grows still, when the heart remembers that peace is not something we chase, but something we return to. Tonight, our journey begins nearly 2,000 years ago, not in a palace filled with celebration, but in silence. The Roman Empire stretches farther than any civilization has known. Its roads connect continents, its armies guard distant frontiers, its cities never truly sleep. Yet somewhere above the streets, on a quiet marble terrace, one man sits beneath the light of an oil lamp. He has commanded armies. He has buried friends. He has survived betrayal. He carries responsibilities beyond imagination, and yet, before he closes his eyes each night, he writes, not because he believes the world will read his words, but because he needs to remind himself how to live. His name is Marcus Aurelius. History remembers him as an emperor, but tonight, let us simply meet him as another human being trying to find peace before sleep. Listen, the rain has begun. Not enough to disturb the night, only enough to wash the dust from the marble. The city below glows with thousands of small lights. Some families are sharing their final meal. Others are already asleep. A baker prepares tomorrow's bread. A soldier stands quietly at his post. A mother hums her child to sleep. Life continues. Without asking anyone's permission, Marcus watches all of it, not with pride, not with fear, only with gratitude. He remains there for several quiet moments, listening. The gentle rhythm of rain against stone, the whisper of wind moving through the olive branches, the distant murmur of a city preparing for another night. From where he sits, Rome appears almost peaceful. The narrow streets are softened by darkness, their sharp edges hidden beneath moonlight. Lamps glow behind windows like scattered stars. Somewhere below, a cart rolls slowly over worn stone, its wheels echoing through the quiet before disappearing once again into silence. It is easy to imagine that an emperor would spend his evenings thinking only of victories or politics, that his mind would be occupied by power, strategy, and the endless responsibilities of ruling the greatest empire the world had ever known. Yet history suggests something far different. Marcus Aurelius understood something that many people never discover. The mind does not become peaceful simply because life becomes successful. A larger home cannot silence anxious thoughts. A greater title cannot quiet fear. More wealth cannot guarantee restful sleep. The world may change around us, but peace begins somewhere much closer. It begins in the conversations we have with ourselves. Marcus reaches for the journal resting on the marble table beside him. Its pages are worn, not because others have read them, but because he has returned to them again and again. He dips the feathered quill into dark ink and pauses before writing. There is no audience waiting for these words. No Senate, no generals, no historians, only one man speaking honestly to himself. The pages that would one day become known as meditations were never intended for publication. They were not speeches crafted to inspire a nation or letters meant for a friend. They were private reminders, quiet attempts to return his own mind to reason whenever it began to drift toward fear, anger, pride, or despair. Perhaps that is why they still feel so personal after nearly 2,000 years. They do not sound like commands from an emperor. They sound like the thoughts of someone trying, day after day, to become a better human being. Marcus lowers the quill. He looks once more toward the city below. Somewhere beyond the walls, soldiers stand watch along distant frontiers, guarding borders that stretch farther than most citizens could ever travel. Merchants will rise before dawn to prepare their stalls. Farmers will tend vineyards and fields. Children will wake to another ordinary morning. Thousands of lives, each carrying hopes, worries, dreams, and disappointments. None of them know what tomorrow will bring, neither does he. For all his authority, Marcus cannot command tomorrow. He cannot order illness never to arrive. He cannot forbid the passing of time. He cannot prevent the people he loves from growing older. Even an emperor cannot negotiate with life itself. And perhaps that realization is not frightening. Perhaps it is freeing. He writes a few quiet lines, not hurriedly, not searching for perfect words, only thoughts worthy of remembering. You have power over your own mind, not over every event beyond it. He lets the thought rest before continuing. Outside events, the weather, the opinions of strangers, unexpected loss, unexpected success, the actions of other people, tomorrow's uncertainties. None of these belong entirely to us. Yet so much of our energy is spent trying to control them. We replay conversations that have already ended. We imagine arguments that have not yet begun. We fear outcomes that may never come to pass. Our minds wander endlessly into places where our hands can do nothing. Marcus gently lays the quill across the open page. For tonight, that work is finished. The rain continues. The lamp flickers softly beside him. And in the quiet, he practices something far more difficult than ruling an empire. He practices letting go. Perhaps you know this struggle. Perhaps your body is lying in a quiet room, while your mind is still walking through the day, returning to something you said, something you wish you had said, something another person did, something they failed to do. The mind believes that by returning to a moment again and again, it may somehow change what happened. But the past does not reopen because we worry about it. It does not become kinder because we punish ourselves. It does not offer a different ending because we refuse to release it. There are lessons that can be carried forward. There are apologies that may still be made. There are choices that can be improved tomorrow. But tonight, the day has reached its conclusion. You are allowed to set it down. Imagine the events of today resting in your hands. Every conversation, every mistake, every responsibility, every unanswered question. You have carried them long enough. Now, place them gently on the marble table beside the open journal. They will still exist in the morning. Anything that truly requires your attention can be met with a rested mind. You do not need to carry it through the night. Marcus rises from his chair and walks slowly toward the edge of the terrace. The rain has softened to a mist. Cool air moves across the stone. Below him, the city continues living 1,000 separate stories. A disagreement between two friends, a family welcoming a child, a merchant worrying about tomorrow, an elderly man remembering his youth, a young soldier hoping to return home. From this distance, their lives blend into the quiet glow of Rome. Marcus cannot enter every home. He cannot settle every disagreement. He cannot remove every grief. He cannot protect every citizen from every hardship. To care about others does not mean possessing the power to control their lives. To love someone does not mean being able to prevent all pain. To lead does not mean carrying the entire world alone. This is another burden many people take to bed. The feeling that they should have done more, fixed more, prevented more, known more. They hold themselves responsible not only for their own choices, but for every outcome around them. If someone is disappointed, they feel they have failed. If someone makes a harmful decision, they wonder what they should have done differently. If life moves beyond their influence, they search for a way to blame themselves. But compassion and control are not the same thing. You can care deeply without being responsible for everything. You can offer guidance without choosing another person's path. You can love someone without being able to rescue them from every lesson life will teach. Marcus understood that duty required effort, it required courage, it required attention. But it did not require pretending to be more powerful than a human being. He could act with wisdom, he could make careful decisions, he could treat people with fairness, he could meet each day with integrity. The outcome, however, would not always belong to him, and so he learned to separate two things: what was his to carry and what was not. Tonight, you may do the same. Ask yourself quietly, what truly belongs to me? Your intentions belong to you. Your next choice belongs to you. The way you speak to others belongs to you. The way you speak to yourself belongs to you. The effort you give belongs to you. The boundaries you create belong to you. The honesty you practice belongs to you, but another person's opinion does not. Their reaction does not. The past does not. Chance does not. Time does not. Every possible future does not. You may influence some of these things. You may prepare for them. You may respond to them, but you do not have to command them before allowing yourself to rest. The emperor closes his eyes, not to escape the world, but to hear more clearly. The rain touches the roof above him. Water gathers along the edge of the terrace and falls quietly into the garden below. Somewhere among the olive trees, a bird shifts beneath a branch. The flame of the lamp bends with the wind, then becomes steady again. Marcus breathes. A simple breath, the same breath available to a king, a soldier, a servant, and to you. For one moment, all titles disappear. There is only a human body beneath the night sky. Only the rise and fall of breath. Only the present. Stoicism is sometimes misunderstood as the absence of feeling, as though strength means becoming cold, as though wisdom requires the heart to close. But Marcus was not trying to feel nothing. He was trying not to be ruled by every feeling that entered his mind. There is a difference. A wave can rise within you without becoming the whole ocean. Anger may visit without choosing your words. Fear may appear without deciding your future. Sadness may sit beside you without erasing every reason for hope. You do not have to fight each feeling. You do not have to obey it either. You may simply notice it, name it, allow it to pass through, like the rain over Rome, arriving, falling, moving on. Perhaps there is a feeling with you tonight: anxiety, regret, loneliness, frustration, uncertainty. You do not need to force it away. Forcing the mind into silence often creates more noise. Instead, make a little room for what you feel. Say quietly to yourself, "This feeling is here, but it is not all that I am. It is a visitor. It is not my identity. It may speak, but I do not have to follow it everywhere." Let your breath create space around the feeling. A gentle breath in and a slow breath out. There is room for the feeling, and there is room for peace beside it. Marcus returns to the table. The journal remains open. A few drops of mist have reached the marble, darkening the stone around its edges. He looks at what he has written. Tomorrow, he may need these reminders again. The same fear may return. The same irritation may rise. The same uncertainty may wait outside his door. Wisdom does not mean learning a lesson once and never struggling again. It means returning to what is true whenever the mind forgets. Again, and again, and again. Each morning, Marcus would rise into responsibilities few could imagine: petitions, conflicts, illness, military reports, political tension, people seeking favors, people offering criticism, people expecting him to possess answers no person could truly have. And each night, he returned to the same private work, not conquering nations, not commanding armies, conquering the impulse to become bitter, commanding his attention back to the present. He reminded himself that difficult people were part of life, that obstacles were not interruptions of the path, they were the path, that death was not an insult from nature, but part of nature, that status was temporary, that praise was temporary, that criticism was temporary, that even Rome itself, for all its stone and power, would one day change. Everything borrowed from time must eventually be returned. This did not make life meaningless. It made each moment more valuable. Think of how differently you might hold today if you knew it could never happen again, not as a reason for sadness, as a reason for tenderness, the ordinary meal, the familiar voice, the sunlight against a window, the person you passed without noticing, the quiet moment you nearly rushed through. Life is often most beautiful before we realize we are looking at something temporary. Marcus knew that tomorrow was not guaranteed, so his task was not to control tomorrow. His task was to meet today well. Your task is not to solve your entire life tonight. It is not to know every answer. It is not to predict every turn in the road. Your task in this moment is simply to meet this moment. And this moment is asking nothing from you. It is offering rest. The emperor closes the journal. The soft sound of its cover meeting the pages disappears beneath the rain. He moves the oil lamp farther from the edge of the table. Then he takes one final look across the city. Rome will continue while he sleeps. The guards will remain at their posts. The fires will burn in the kitchens. The rain will fall on rooftops and courtyards. The moon will move slowly across the sky. The world does not require his eyes to remain open. It will continue without his supervision, and so will yours for a few hours. You may release your watch. You do not have to monitor every possibility. You do not have to remain prepared for every problem. You do not have to rehearse tomorrow before it arrives. The night can hold what you are no longer able to carry. Imagine now that you are standing on that terrace. The marble beneath your feet is cool and smooth. The air carries the scent of rain and olive leaves. Ancient Rome rests below you, softened by distance. The oil lamp casts a warm circle of light across the table. The open journal waits before you. On one page, you may place everything within your control. Your effort, your character, your next decision, your willingness to begin again. On the other page, you may place everything that is not yours to command. The past, other people's choices, uncertain outcomes, the passing of time. What has already left? What has not yet arrived? Look at both pages. Notice how much you have been trying to carry from the second one. Perhaps you believed worry was preparation. Perhaps you believed guilt was responsibility. Perhaps you believed staying tense would protect you from being surprised. But tension cannot bargain with tomorrow. It can only steal peace from tonight. Take a slow breath in. Then as you breathe out, allow the second page to close. Those things are not being ignored. They are simply being returned to their proper place. Outside your hands, outside this room, outside this moment, there may still be something you wish had gone differently today. See it briefly, without judgment, without defending yourself, without accusing anyone else. Simply see it, then say, "It has happened. I will carry the lesson, but I do not have to carry the moment." Let it move farther away, like a light disappearing down a distant Roman street, smaller, softer, until it turns the corner and is gone. There may be something you fear about tomorrow. A conversation, a decision, a responsibility, an unknown result. See that too? Then remind yourself, tomorrow is not here. When it arrives, I will meet it with the strength available to me then. I do not need tomorrow's strength tonight. Tonight's strength is rest. The rain grows lighter. The spaces between each drop become longer. The city is quieter now. One by one, lamps are being extinguished behind distant windows. A household settles. A shop closes. A guard walks beneath an archway. A final cart passes through the street. Then, stillness. Marcus lifts the lamp and walks toward the doorway. His sandals make almost no sound against the marble. At the threshold, he pauses. Not because every problem has been solved. Not because he knows what tomorrow will bring. Not because the world has become easy. He pauses because peace does not require certainty. It only requires a willingness to stop fighting what cannot be changed in this moment. Then he enters the quiet room beyond the terrace. The curtains move once in the wind. The flame of the lamp becomes smaller, and the ancient city continues beneath the moon. You may follow him now into rest. Feel the surface beneath your body. Let it support you completely. You do not need to hold yourself up. Allow the muscles around your eyes to soften. Let your forehead become smooth. Release the space between your eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. Let your tongue rest naturally. Allow your shoulders to sink. Your arms grow heavier. Your hands no longer need to hold anything. Let the breath move gently through your chest. There is no need to make it deeper. Your body knows how to breathe without instruction. Your stomach softens, your hips settle, your legs become heavy, your feet rest. Nothing is required from them now. If a thought appears, you do not need to complete it. Let it pass unfinished. If a memory appears, you do not need to enter it. Let it remain at a distance. If tomorrow calls your name, remind it that you will answer in the morning. This time belongs to sleep. Tonight you have done enough. Perhaps not everything, but enough. You survived every difficult moment that brought you here. You made choices with the understanding you had at the time. You carried responsibilities others may never see. You continued even when the day felt heavy. Now the day is over. You may forgive yourself for being human within it. You may release the expectation that you should have handled every moment perfectly. Even Marcus Aurelius, remembered as one of history's wisest rulers, returned to the same lessons again and again. He became wise not because he never struggled, but because he kept returning. Tomorrow you may return too, to patience, to courage, to honesty, to perspective, to yourself. But not tonight. Tonight, you rest. The oil lamp is nearly extinguished. Its warm glow becomes smaller against the darkness. The journal is closed. The rain has ended. Water rests along the marble terrace, reflecting the moon. Rome sleeps beneath a clear night sky, and somewhere within the quiet palace, an emperor who could command thousands has finally released the one thing he could never command: tomorrow. Take one final gentle breath in, and slowly let it go. You are not responsible for the entire world tonight. You are not required to understand everything. You are not required to fix what cannot be fixed before morning. Keep what is yours, your breath, your character, your next choice. Release what is not, the past, the outcome, the opinions, the unknown. Let the night carry them away. May your mind become as quiet as the terrace after rain. May your worries grow distant like the lights of the ancient city. May your body remember that it is safe to soften, and may sleep find you. Not because every question has been answered, but because, for now, you no longer need the answers. Good night, rest well. Tomorrow will arrive in its own time, and when it does, you will meet it then. But for now, there is only the night. There is only the quiet. There is only rest.